Hi, I'm Peter and welcome back to the History and Saber Suites, the channel where I talk about HEMA, history and swords. Now today's video is not strictly about swords, but it's about the BlackFencer musket and bayonet synthetic trainer. First I'm going to talk about what it's trying to simulate, and then I'm going to tell you how it works and how I think it holds up and how it performs. So first up, this is probably the only affordable and sensible, version of a Napoleonic era or 18th century, early 19th century era training musket and bayonet that really makes sense. Because, on average, earlier muskets are just that much longer than, 19th and later 19th century muskets and rifles, if you will. So BlackFencer have developed this a couple of years ago now. I've seen it on their website already a while ago for the first time. And this, as per its shape, is basically based on the Brown Bess British musket that was introduced in the 1720s, I believe. And the entire thing with bayonet fixed is 185 centimeters long. Now the musket without the bayonet, of course we got 2 for the club, as you can see here, without the bayonet is about 145 centimeters, which roughly corresponds to, the short land pattern and the later Indian pattern and also the new land pattern, which are all just over 140 centimeters. And as I said, with bayonet fixed, which adds another 45 centimeters, it stands at 185. So you can see it's quite a tall setup. It's taller than me. I'm not the tallest guy, so yeah, still towers over me kind of. And that's what it's about, Napoleonic muskets are just long, and that's what it's great for. Because, we train from Roworth, and that's the main source that I use for the saber class at the club here in Graz. And these are just a great asset to have. I'm interested, and I've become interested in bayonet fencing and also sword versus bayonet because it's part of the manuals. And I think it's really intriguing and interesting and also fun to do. So yeah, we just got 2 of these for the club. And they are optimal for what we're trying to do, what I'm trying to do. Now, some people say, well, just use, a padded staff or a stick, basically. But these are just so close to the real thing with the added benefits of, the offset bayonet here, which allows you to do all kinds of different techniques that are described in Roworth, for example. All kind of pulling actions and hooking actions, which are not possible with a regular stick and which are just fun to do, Also, it's the right dimensions for the period. It adds a bit of accuracy, which is also always nice. And they don't really break the bank. I mean, they're not the cheapest. They're 140 euros, roundabout. But given that nobody really makes these other than BlackFencer, they are affordable enough. And they are really just what I've been looking for. Now, as for the construction, the musket itself is made of this white nylon material. That's probably the same, at least I think so, the same material that they used to use for their blades. So recently they've switched to, the gray blade material that they now have, which the bayonet itself is made of, but the musket itself is made of a similar or probably the same material as the earlier blades that they used to make. How are they fixed? Let me show you. Let's put that away. So what you get in the set is, the blade of the bayonet mounted to a socket, which is hollow, of course. And then you get what I call the barrel. Basically, so the barrel piece of the musket is squared off, and that just, is where the socket of the bayonet fits. And once it's fixed, it's quite easy to pull off. So what they've done to fix this problem is the whole setup comes with these small, rivets that are supposed to go through the sockets of the bayonet. Let me show you. So you've got the bayonet here, and these rivets are supposed to go through the hole, and you're supposed to drill a hole through the barrel of the musket and, you know, just fix them permanently that way. Now, I'm not a fan of that, so what we've decided to do, I've also seen that around on the internet, is just use some duct tape to fix it in place. And if it ever gets pulled off, we just, you know, use another roll of duct tape and fix it again, which is, you know, the non-permanent solution that also lets you transport it more easily, because these things are really long. Yeah, so overall, what do I think of them? Well, after some sparring sessions that I've done over the past couple of weeks, one of which you can see on my channel, which I've just uploaded very recently, they are just great, you know. They're about half the weight of the originals at 2.5 kilos. The originals are closer to 5. So they're a bit safer than the full weight models that you can get reproductions of, you know, or even antiques. So these are lighter, therefore safer, and also easier to wield for beginners. And yeah, I think they function perfectly for what they're trying to simulate. And you know, the asset, the benefit is just that you can use them together with all the other swords that BlackFencer make. Swords, you know, basket hilts of the period, or sabers, spadroons, the cavalry swords, the various models that they make out of, you know, synthetic materials. And you can just pair them up and, you know, recreate those combinations that would have been there historically and have fun with that. And that's exactly what I'm planning to do in the future. And I'm sure I'll show you a few of those, you know, situations with different kind of swords and combinations, not just bayonet versus bayonet, but also saber versus bayonet, broadsword versus bayonet. Yeah, that's something that I really enjoy at the moment, and I'm looking forward to making more videos about. So if you like this video, and if you find it useful, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel for more content in the future. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram. So thanks again, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.